What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for thelines.com. Let's talk some Monday Night Football between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. Everything we do, absolutely free. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button down below, and let us know in the comment section what you've got going on in this one. As we see right now, we have 7.5 in favor of the Chiefs, though this is a juicy 7 at both of all the places that are 7, so it looks like it's likely heading towards 7.5. Got a total as low as 51.5, as high as 52.5 in this one. From an injury standpoint, everybody, nothing that we're really all that worried about. Actually, if anything, it would just be the news that Hunter Renfrow is going to be back out there for the Raiders in this one, but no big injury stuff. Harrison Butker, the kicker, is still out for the Chargers, so there's that. I mean, look, we've seen all kinds of kicking craziness over the last couple of weeks, so I mean, there is at least that if you're worried about it. But yes, there's not going to be any Harrison Butker out there for the Chiefs. So real quick on the side, I mean, look, as it heads towards 7.5, I think the flat 7, the play, without a doubt, is on the Chiefs. This team, I'll admit, if you guys watched any of our preseason stuff, I did not think that this team was going to be able to just continue to roll on and not miss a beat, and I was just completely wrong. I mean, they have looked absolutely fantastic so far, so incredibly efficient on the offensive side of the ball. They are number 1 in offensive EPA in the entire NFL through the first 4 weeks of the season. Definitely did not see that coming. I thought there'd be a drop-off when you lose Tyreek Hill. But, I mean, you look, the other advanced statistic places all have the same stuff. 5th overall offense DVOA, 2nd overall offense according to Pro Football Focus. If you look, yards per play, they're 7th in the NFL. Early down success rate, they're 2nd in the NFL. Early down EPA, they're 1st. I mean, again, it goes on and on and on. The red zone offense is 4th in the NFL. So when they get in the red zone, they're scoring touchdowns. They're not settling for field goals. And so it's just been a really masterful performance by Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid so far on the offensive side of the ball. On the defensive side of the ball, and I'll scroll just a little bit more for you here if you're reading along. On the defensive side of the ball, this is where I think I'm the most surprised, right? I mean, if you told me, even though I thought they'd take a step back, if you told me, oh, by the way, by week 5, this Kansas City offense is still going to be perfectly fine, I could buy that. What you couldn't tell me is, oh, by the way, this defense is going to be a top 10 defense in the NFL. I wouldn't have bought that. But what we're getting right now is an incredible effort from this defensive line from the Chiefs. And they're 5th in the NFL in pressure rate, getting to the opposing quarterback at a ridiculously good rate. They're blitzing a lot, which is getting home as well. They blitz at a top 10 rate in the NFL as well. And with that, they're not only creating pressure, but they're getting sacks as well, as they're a top 6 team in sacks. And so it's just that the defensive side, I think, is the part here that doesn't get talked about enough, but it has been really good. Now, on the Raiders side of things, let's just call a spade a spade. They have underperformed so far a lot. Now, whether you thought they were the 3rd or 4th best team, doesn't matter. Even if you thought they were the worst team in this division, everybody loved the teams in this division. And I don't think anybody looked at this Raiders team thinking you acquired Devontae Adams and you would be 20th in the NFL in offense, right? If you looked like your red zone offense would be 28th in the NFL. Yes, 28th red zone offense. You acquire Devontae Adams, you have Darren Waller, you have Hunter Renfrow, all the stuff like that. They're a bottom 4 team in the NFL in converting to touchdowns in the red zone. And that's just unacceptable. And there should be, you would think there would be some regression towards the mean, but that's where they sit right now. And maybe this is just who this team is. They have been running the ball fairly well with Jacobs, and that would be the bright spot for this team for sure. But again, we talked about Kansas City. Their defense has been so good, and that's kind of been the bright spot for them so far. I don't know how much rushing success we're going to get from this Raiders team. And I think Derek Carr is going to have to sling it around and try to create a high variance game with Kansas City here. Try to go back and forth, and maybe you get maybe you get a Patrick Mahomes interception, maybe you get a strip sack, maybe you get something along the way. But I think you need to create a more high variance situation from a game state, and that's how you get it home. Really, the defense is what's been killing the Raiders so far. I mean, they're getting no pressure whatsoever on the quarterback, and that's going to be bad news for Patrick Mahomes if he has all day to sit back there and throw. As we know, it's just been, they're 28th in the NFL right now in pressure rate, and so we know what Patrick Mahomes does anyway, kind of against the blitz. He's one of the best there is, but with a clean pocket, Patrick Mahomes is just nails. He's absolutely lights out. And so if this team can't figure out a way to scheme up some pressure against Patrick Mahomes, it could be a real long day for this Raiders team as well. So from a total side of things, guys, look, it's sitting, there were some 51.5s as we were looking here, 51.5, 52. As we see with these island games, typically it's probably only going to go higher. It's hard for me to say under when I look at how incredibly efficient the Kansas City offense has been in the red zone and how bad the red zone defense has been for the Raiders. I mean, we're talking the fourth best offensive team in the red zone, according to all the advanced statistics in the Chiefs, and with the 29th defense in the red zone with the Raiders. And then you go to the flip side, one of the only few teams that's worse in the red zone than the Raiders, it's actually the Chiefs, weirdly enough. So as good as this defense has been, when they do finally allow a team to get into the red zone against them, they can't keep them out of the end zone. They are 30th in the NFL in red zone defense right now. So it's weird. Like they're really, really good, 20-20, and then somehow the team gets inside the 20 and they're allowing touchdowns. And so really hard for me to play an under in a game like this when you consider just how good the offense has been for Kansas City, how bad both of these defenses have been at preventing touchdowns when the opponents have gotten into the red zone. So while I don't have a total play, it's very hard for me to advocate an under, even though I know it's been under city in the NFL so far this year. But, in this particular matchup, it wouldn't surprise me if we were looking at Kansas City playing into the low 30s here, and we weren't asking for very much from the Raiders anyway to get us over this total. So that's kind of where I am on the total side of things as well. I do also, full disclosure, have a teaser rolling into this one. Took Kansas City down to 1 with the Vikings, and so I do have that one coming into this as well. So just to let you know all that's in my account, but I do like the Chiefs at 7 as it is. From a prop standpoint, guys, if we look over here at Travis Kelce, I mean, look, if you want to play the receptions or if you want to play the yards, I can't really tell you how you want to go, whatever. If you want to play the over 71.5 or you want to play the over 6.5, this Raiders defense, as we mentioned, one, it's been a letdown as it is anyway. And for whatever reason, they just give it up to the tight end like nobody's business. The opposing passers have over a 120 passer rating when targeting tight ends against this Raiders defense. They're the 5th worst in the NFL against the tight end position. And Travis Kelce's just proven that he is still the best tight end in the NFL. Him and Mark Andrews, right there, 1A, 1B. So I don't really care if you want to play the over 6.5 or the over 71.5. Maybe you want to split the bet between the two, whatever. But Travis Kelce is very highly likely to get his in this game unless the Raiders just do a completely weird defensive scheme where it's like, we're going to remove Travis Kelce and you got to beat us with everybody else. And if that's the case, then so be it. We lose. But so far, they've been terrible against tight ends, and Travis Kelce obviously is still just the man. So really like him. The other thing here is Devontae Adams, and I am betting on 2 different pathways for this to get here. One, he has just been getting an absolutely ridiculous target share. I mean, seriously, like even through, even last week against Denver where he's getting Patrick Surtain treatment, who, by the way, is a top 3 corner now in the entire NFL. He was still getting all the targets, right? So we're getting 9 yards fewer this week than we were last week at the 76.5 here. And if you look, as good as Kansas City's defense has been, number 1 receivers have actually kind of gotten theirs against them. They've just kind of been doing the whole bend but don't break thing. Mike Williams went for 113 against the Chiefs. Michael Pittman went for 72 against the Chiefs. Mike Evans went for 103 against the Chiefs. So now you're getting Devontae Adams, right? And here's the thing, Hunter Renfrow coming back, I think is only better for Adams, right? Because they're going to have to pay some attention to Hunter Renfrow. They can't just let him run free out there. And I actually think him being out on the field helps Adams' production a good amount. So I'm actually going to play the over 76.5 here as well. Even as bad as, I kind of feel like this Raiders offense has been and as good as this Kansas City defense has been, for whatever reason, wide receiver ones have gotten theirs against them. And I honestly do. I believe Hunter Renfrow is going to help him out there. Here's a boring Chiefs win one. Again, I'm on the Chiefs, and so I just kind of made a boring Chiefs win one. Chiefs, I lowered the spread just to get under the key number of 7 and, key-ish number of 6. So Chiefs, 5.5. I have them scoring at least 27 points. If they're going to win, I think they're going to score at least 27 points as it is. Patrick Mahomes is going to go for 255 passing. And then with that, Kelsey's going to get at least 60 receiving yards and score a touchdown for him. It's just 330 plus 330. But again, kind of a boring Chiefs win here. They cover the spread, get us to 6-point win here, 27 points overall, 255 passing yards, 60 of which go to Kelsey, and he finds the end zone. Here's this game turns into an incredible shootout. Same game parlay that you can play that I actually think that this outcome is not crazy, right? Over 54.5. So 55 points get scored. Both quarterbacks go for at least 280 in the air. And again, if this gets into a shootout, they're both going to go for 280 in the air. Like that's going to happen, right? Both go for at least 2 passing touchdowns. And then they're both of their number ones. So Adams goes for at least 80 yards. Kelsey goes for at least 70 yards. That pays 8-1. And that's kind of this game just gets into a back and forth type deal here. And honestly, I think that in the range of outcomes, this is not that crazy of a range of outcomes for 55 points to be scored, both of these guys to go for 280, both to get in the end zone a couple of times passing, and then their number ones get theirs as well. So just an alternative way to go about this. Like, this isn't saying who wins. This just says there's going to be a lot of offense and a lot of things going back and forth up and down the field. But again, I'm on the Chiefs tonight, guys. Total, again, it would be over or pass for me with all of that. And I do like these props with these number one guys kind of getting theirs in this game because, again, sneaky statistics back up what we're looking at here in this one. Again, guys, everything we do, absolutely free. So head over to the lines, please subscribe, rate, review, do all the cool stuff that we're doing. Get in this Discord as well up here, free chat. Awesome stuff going on. College basketball is about to get going. Eli will be in there all the time. We'll get NBA going with our guys as well. So looking forward to the season where everything is going all at the same time, and really do appreciate the support from you guys out there as well. Let us know in the comments what you playing tonight. What am I right about? What am I wrong about? I am here for it. Good luck on all your Monday Night Football bets.